Hi and welcome to another gaming video, and today I'm going to sit here and tell you that the Nintendo DSi is awesome. I've never seen the point of them before. They were kind of sandwiched in between the amazing DS Lite and the Nintendo 3DS. And I've done a couple of videos really kind of saying that I just don't see the point in them. But I retract that because I've just picked up one. This is a blue Nintendo DSi. And it's absolutely superb. I bought my wife a DSi XL a few weeks ago, not because it was a DSi, just because she wanted the XL. She just wanted larger screens, and I fell in love with it. So I thought, well, I need to add a DSi to my collection, and I picked up this blue one for £10. Okay, so yes, it is massively different in some ways to the DS Lite. There's probably one main con over the DS Lite to the DSi, and it's the lack of Game Boy Advance slot. If you're not interested in Game Boy Advance games, that's not going to bother you at all. So let's move on to the pros. It's got built-in storage, it's got built-in cameras, it's got SD card slot, which can take up to 32 gig. It's actually got a built-in kind of operating system where you can install stuff and download stuff from a DSi shop, or you could. So it's more than just plugging a cartridge in, playing a game and just doing picto chat, which is what the DS Lite offers. So other than those obvious pros, there are some smaller ones which just make the whole DSi experience a lot better. So first of all, you've got your power button on the top here rather than on the side, which you did on the DS Lite. Its Wi-Fi is capable of using WPA and WPA2, what most modern routers use. The DS Lite only used WEP, and it caused a lot of issues. Even back then it was still a bit outdated. So it's nice to see that this has got WPA, WPA2. One of the main pros for the DSi is the ability to plug a cartridge in while it's on, and take it out while it's on. You couldn't do that with the DS Lite. You had to turn the machine off, then change the game. One cool little feature is the power button is actually also a reset button. You just press it once and it resets or restarts the console. So if you're in the middle of a game or whatever, you could just press the power button once and it loops without kind of switching fully off. So I'd call it like a soft reboot or a soft reset. The DSi is faster. It's got twice as powerful CPU and 4 times the amount of system RAM. Unfortunately, nothing really took advantage of that. There were a few DSi exclusive games which possibly take advantage of the extra power, but if you're just plugging a standard DS game in, it kind of reverts into DS mode. Because the DSi really didn't have much of its own software, nothing really took advantage of it. Now the one main pro of the DSi is because it's got system software, it's got an SD card slot, you can jailbreak it or install custom firmware and do all sorts of wonderful things, sort of really unlock the full potential of the console. I haven't done that to this yet, and I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to. I've done my 3DS and it behaves like a normal 3DS, just with some, well, extra options and menus. But when you do a DSi, as far as I can tell, it changes the menu system. I'm not entirely sure, but I think I'm just going to keep this as a DSi. You can use a flash cart in it, so if I want to run other emulators or DS ROMs, I can do it that way. So I think I'm probably going to not run custom firmware on this, but it is a possibility, and that's a big bonus for the DSi. And finally, when they moved to the DSi, they changed the charge type. So the original DS had its own charger style, which it shared with the Game Boy Advance SP. The DS Lite then changed the charger plug again, but when they moved to the DSi, that's the last time they changed it. So the DSi, the DSi XL, the 3DS, the 3DS XL, the 2DS, the new 3DS, the new 3DS XL and the new 2DS XL all use the same chargers. So if you've got a DSi, you can use the same charger across all of those consoles. So I am absolutely in love with this little console. In all fairness, it's probably going to make my DS Lites sit on the shelf, because this can do everything that my DS Lite can do, obviously apart from play Game Boy Advance games, but I don't do that anyway. So it's just nice to have all those extra features. The cameras, meh, they take pictures, they don't take video. I'm not really interested in the cameras on it, but the whole the fact that it's got its own system, you can browse the web, the fact that you can take games in and out without turning it off, and it's got like a soft reset. These are all superb additions to the DSi. So I retract most of my earlier videos and earlier comments on, well, I don't really see the point in the DSi. Back then, if you had a DS Lite, no, I don't think that the DSi had enough to pull you away from it, unless you were going for the XL. That's some of the big reason they brought the XL out. But nowadays, if you're looking for a console to play DS games on, and you're not interested in Game Boy Advance, and you're not really that bothered about 3DS, then the DSi is the go-to console. It's a superb little beast. It looks gorgeous, and for me, it is just an amazing console, and something I wish I'd picked up earlier, and it may have changed my opinion of the DSi a long time ago. So this is me, this is 2022, and I've just bought my first DSi, and wow, what an amazing little console. Link, like, subscribe, enjoy.